Got me falling right back.
Hello everyone, welcome back. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Today I have a very cool, interesting list to share with you. It has been a lot of fun playing this. I don't know how competitive it is because I just kind of started the list. I'm playing around with it, but man, it's working pretty well so far. So what we're trying to do with this is we're making use of Nissa, who shakes the world. And what we're doing with her is we're playing some of the most high value cards that we can play with her. So we're running couple March of the Multitudes. We're running a couple Finale of Glory, and we're running 4 Hydroid Krasis for card draw. So basically, these are our win conditions, and we're just ramping up to be able to play these at insane mana values. Now, how we're doing that is we run Flowers and Arboreal Grazers and our 1-drop. Sorry, that's a hard freaking word for me to say for some reason. So we run those in our 1-drop. Then in our 2-drop, we are either playing Nissa's Triumph or Merfolk Branchwalker. So Nissa's Triumph, Merfolk Branchwalker, Jadelight Ranger, and Flower all combo very, very well with Arboreal Grazer for ramping. And it also kind of helps us stabilize against the early game. So like we have a reach blocker out, and then we might have some other blockers out for the next few turns to try to keep Nissa alive. So other than that, we just run 4 Cleansing Novas. I've tried this deck kind of going just the basic route without any tech in it, and it's just not viable. You can't win any games that way. But 4 Cleansing Novas seems to do the trick. So yeah, and then we run a land-based to make it work. We run 1 island. The reason we run only 1 island is because we only need 1 for the deck to work. We do run 4 breeding pools, but we run 1 island so that we can search for it with Circuitous Route if we need to. And our dual lands are all pain lands, and that's because they have the forest tag on them so that they count for Nissa, so they tap for 2 when Nissa's out. So that's why it's like that. So without further ado, I'll get into the games. I hope you guys enjoy. Mommy! Well, we got a Merfolk Branchwalker in our starting hand. So that's pretty decent. It's going to be interesting to see how this deck performs. Obviously, I've already played these games, but it'll be interesting for you guys. I really didn't know what to expect when I started this list, so not quite sure how to make the optimal plays, but I'm like, you know what, let's just get the ramp train started. 5 land on turn 3 is not too bad. Looks like we are up against mono-white life gain. We're just looking for a white land. We draw into it, so now we're just gonna kind of just stall out the game as long as we can. We're gonna hold our Cleansing Nova in hand as long as we can. And I make a misplay there. I don't realize that my guy has reach because I've never played that card, so I could have been blocking that goofball the whole time, but mistakes were made. So again, I misplay, don't block. Still don't really want to commit on our Cleansing Nova. We can play a pretty decent Hydroid Krasis right now, so that's what we're going to do. Just double counting our lands real quick to make sure we don't mess it up. We figure playing the Hydroid Krasis will allow us to hold our Cleansing Nova in hand even longer than we would have been able to otherwise, because we can just kind of stave off his attack with a blocker. Unless we see a Conclave Tribunal or something coming out. So we don't want him drawing any more cards. We have card advantage right now, so now's a good time to play the Cleansing so he can't start snowballing with his 1/4 that's on the board that allows him to draw cards whenever he plays a creature. Then we will reload and get another land out of our hand. And we are setting ourselves up for a very large board next turn. So outside of a Cleansing Nova or a board clear effect, which Mono White generally doesn't run, he has lost this game. We're deciding how greedy we want to be. We feel like we want to be very greedy. That is because he's not presenting too much of a threat to us right now, and we know once we generate our board, with the cards we've seen him running, most likely he doesn't have any removal. And we know he won't be able to get past our board once we generate it, so. So we'll play it for 12, and we'll have 12 4/4 flyers and 12 2/2s on the ground. Yep. I think we got a wider board than him at that point, so we win. Not too bad for our first game. Let's see what the second one has to offer. So we're going to go ahead and get a white land into our hand because we didn't have one. 2 white is required for most of this deck to work on board, so. We're debating on whether the ramp's more important or having a creature down is more important. We go with the creature. We made that decision because we were hoping to buy time by having him play a burn spell on it, which he did not. He played treasure map. But that's fine, we'll just start a ramp the next turn. Opponent looking like he is on some sort of control list. Oh, there's Nissa. Well, our opponent did a whole bunch of nothing, so we're just going to continue our ramp gain while he scries and uses his treasure map. I would imagine he has counter spells in hand, but oh, there's something. So we need to get rid of it. The best thing we can do is to play Nissa and turn a land into a token so we can get some damage in on it. If he doesn't have removal for Nissa, we will have a very, very decent Hydroid Krasis coming up here. Our opponent opts for a Cleansing Nova, which bodes well for us. We'll refill our hand and drop on 11/11 Hydroid Krasis. Get one of our lands turned into a creature so we can tap it to play another card. Merfolk Branchwalker comes down and fetches a land, which is fine because we have our little 0/3 that we can play both of our lands in the same turn with. So Sorceress's Spyglass is going to shut down our Nissa for a little while. Not the end of the world. Our 11/11 can't do damage this turn, so we need to kill his Planeswalker. Well, luckily we have a land for that. No point in overextending on the board right now, so we'll probably just fetch for some more lands. We play our extra guy just to make the board extra juicy for his board clear. Kind of figure one's coming. There it is. He's tapped out, so he will not be able to counter our card now. So now's the perfect time to play it. Finale of Glory. Let's see if he has another board clear. 2 in his graveyard. We're not too far into his deck, so the chances are pretty low. Deafening Clarion will take care of half our board, but not all of it. I would imagine he has a Settle in hand, and I will telegraph that with my play. We attack with 4 instead of 3, just in case he had some single target removal as well, so he couldn't, save a turn by using just a single target removal and keep his Settle in hand. That's why we attack with 4 over 3. I'm sure that you guys watching are probably wondering why I made that decision, so I thought I would explain it.
Searching for a longer day. People feeling like the light has just
Alright, opponent refills our hand, drops it to Fury. Don't know if that's going to be enough. He can only untap 2 lands unless he's got another Settle in hand. And he must not have gotten his Settle, so we will take that one. It's so dumb that this deck's even winning. Like, I'm sure there's a way to make this deck win if you really spend the time to, perfect it or whatever, but this is just kind of like a first iteration of it. So, we are in casual, obviously. I'm not going to go tank my rank to try out a janky deck that I'm experimenting with, but here we are against Dimir. We don't know what kind of Dimir yet. Alrighty, so it looks like some... Okay, so it's a mill deck. We are up against a mill deck. See how we fare against a mill deck. We're not a super fast deck, so it could be a rough match, but if we end up drawing into one of our token generating cards, it could be very bad for him because it's a lot of threats to deal with.
we will always take a stand for the people, for the land. Let's go back to when we were young.
Probably should have put the Hydroid Krasis on bottom, but we really
Let's go back to when
kind of wanted to draw into another white land, so the more cards getting tossed into the graveyard, the better that aren't a white land, so it gave us, a better chance of drawing into a white land. So, but luckily Flower will solve that problem for us, and we will play this before he has a chance to draw into a counterspell. Nissa is a great draw right now. We'll keep 2 blockers open just in case he decided not to block and had some form of removal in hand. He had a cry, so it's a good thing. Didn't think we'd be winning a game with Nissa's plus ability, but evidently it's working out for us this game. And I guess that's all we needed. Sanche is our next opponent. Arboreal Grazer, Circuitous Route, Nissa, and a Flower in starting hand. I don't know if we can ask for a better starting hand for this deck. We see red, so we decide to drop the blocker out first. I paid 2 for the land as a mistake, because it kept giving me the option to pay 2, and I was like, I wonder if I pay 2 if this comes into play untapped. I didn't think that it did, but it was weird that it kept giving me the option to pay for it, so I thought I would experiment and see if that works. So just so everyone's aware, if you play a pain land with that card out, it still comes into play tapped whether you pay the life or not. Circuitous Route will allow us to search for our 1 blue mana, so that when we draw into our Hydroid Krasises, they are useful to us. We'll drop Nissa down. He's probably has an answer for it. Black and Red has answers to Beardevil and Vraska's Contempt. Lightning Strikes for 0/3 seems like a strange choice, but what do I know? Oh, Angress Rampage, I guess I forgot one that could take care of it. So we're just trying to thin our deck out at this point to get to our token generating cards. We'll leave the Cleansing Nova on top to scare him. We have 2 in hand he doesn't know about, so leaving that one on top is actually pretty good. He'll think that we don't have 1 in hand, because generally if a player has 2 in hand, they will toss the one they draw into the graveyard. So by doing that, it's kind of like playing poker. We're doing that so that he has no reason to believe we have another one in hand. So we'll thin out our deck some more. We're at a pretty big mana advantage right now. We are slowly getting pinged and taking damage from his stuff. So let's clear the board before it can get any worse. We will filter through some more of our deck. Well, we're on our draw now. We've got 8 cards in the deck that can turn the tide of the battle. Merfolk Branchwalker is not one of them, but Finale of Glory is. So we will leave that one on top. Alright, so we were both on our top decks. Let's put pressure on him. He's dead next turn if he can't kill us or remove our board. The amount of time he's taking to make his play, I would say he does not have lethal. Well guys, this was a fun one. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching everyone. I really do appreciate it. I hope you're all having a wonderful day again. Until next time, as always, enjoy life.